I'm James Moises. I'm a local New Orleanian, born and raised. Love everything about New Orleans, the food, the culture, the music, the fun. But my main thing that really makes me click is wine. I'm a winemaker, make wine in Oregon, and now I import and distribute wines from all over the world. Small villages and towns in France, Italy, Lebanon, Spain, South Africa, Argentina. These are people that have been making wine for as short as 4 or 5 years, or as long as 300 or 400 or 500 years. Old vineyards, new vineyards. The key thing is that they're all handmade, family owned, and my goal is to bring those wines to New Orleans. New Orleans is already an amazing food destination. My goal is to make New Orleans more of a wine destination. Antoine's Restaurant, the Grand Dame of New Orleans since the 1800s, is one of our many partners that helps make New Orleans a great wine destination. What do you think it is about Antoine's that makes it a wine destination for people who come here and want to enjoy your wines?
I think it's our legacy. And our legacy comes from the 1840s when Antoine came here. He was a wonderful chef. He brought all his wonderful chef techniques of French to the bounty of Southern Louisiana. And with that, he went through his legacy of his children and his grandchildren of continuing that and continuing to bring in wine into that also. We've always been known for our famous wine cellar, and that's been a really basis of a lot of why we've done business here. And I think our legacy of wine has been a big part of it. So I think people come here and they expect to have a great expansive wine list, which we do have. But also I think now we're really trying to make it approachable too. We're trying to make it so there's a lot of selection, whether it be price or grape type, all those things. We feel like this is a place to come and that you can enjoy any type of wine experience here. And with the legacy of our great food with it.
How do you help the customers finding and working through the wine list that you have?
We try to communicate our wines in a lot of different ways. Obviously, we do have the traditional wine book, and it's a pretty big wine book, but we also try to make things approachable, but with a wines by the glass selection it's a big wines by the glass selection, and it varies. You have some very familiar favorites that some people feel very comfortable with, and then definitely some more adventurous things. And so someone can come in here and kind of have that adventure into trying a new wine. They're maybe on vacation, and we talk about it. So that's really come into really working with our staff, working with our partners to come in and talk about wine, encourage them to taste wine and talk about it in the sense of what does that customer want, and asking those right questions to them, what they're eating, what they're drinking, what they like to drink, and then kind of feeling it out and kind of going from there.
Tell me about your French wine collection.
We have a great French wine collection, but definitely after Katrina, we lost our entire collection, which had a lot of wonderful French wines in it and a lot of legacy wines here from Royal Ciator and from even before that. There was this is still a little gems back there we're thinking about opening at some point. But I think Katrina had a silver lining, because now people drink wines from all over the world, and they come here from all over the world to New Orleans. So I think we've made our selections now with a lot of breadth and a lot of adventure, I say, with it. We do have a lot of French wines, and it's very important to us to have those French wines, but there's all different types of things that we can taste and try and pair with our food. There's been such a culture here of food and wine.
Right.
I think that's a big part of it, and also of spirits and beer and everything and all that stuff. But I think that wine especially is something that's that people really get into here, whether it's a local or whether it's a tourist, that they come and they can enjoy things. And I think we've got a lot to offer, whether you're a restaurant like ours that has a great list or you're a retailer. I mean, we have a lot of really great retailers, even the grocery stores, some of the small wine people, tasting bars, places where you can go and taste really great wine and also learn about great wine too. So I think it fits so well into our culture here, and enjoying it. And we're a wonderful place for wine.
Oyster po' boy or oyster Rockefeller? Which one goes with wine?
They all go with wine. And that's what I tell people all the time. Everybody thinks about wine and they think it's fine dining. And you can have an oyster po' boy, which is great with a lot of different wines. I joke that I love our cheeseburger and I love to drink wine with our cheeseburger. I also love to drink wine with our escargot. But I think it's all about exploring it. And it's all about tasting food and tasting wine and enjoying it. I think it goes with everything. People should drink more wine.
Good Wine, the New Orleans edition, is brought to you in part by Bijou Wines, specializing in the import and distribution of artisanal wines and spirits from around the world. The following contributors: Antoine's Restaurant, Swirl Wine Bar and Market, Sally Young Media. Good Wine is produced and distributed by Red Clay Productions.